on this one table over here. So go ahead and find your journal and go to your seat and then write your name on your name tag, and the questions are up on the screen, okay? All right, walk carefully. You want her to say it, or she doesn't want to? Anybody have an answer yet? No. Offspring. Awesome question. I don't know. Anybody know? Yes, Alyssa? They're babies. So offspring would be the... Tell me more. Okay, what about Sammy? So if human sons and daughters would be the offspring, what about something like a tree? What would the offspring of a tree be? Did anybody have an idea? What's the offspring of a bacteria? Okay, so the sound bounces back, right? But what sense are they using in their world? What is the sense that they're using? Chris said 3 things, but some of you raised your hand and said, wait, there's more. So Chris, what did you say again? What were the 3 senses?
Hearing, smelling, or seeing.
Hearing, smelling, seeing. What are 2 other senses that we talk about? Yes? What? Tasting is one, yes? Touching is one, right? Anybody know of any other animal that has different senses?
The platypus,
what is it?
Sixth sense.
What 6th sense does the duck-billed platypus have?
It has on its beak little touch buds, and it can sense what's in the ocean floor.
That's I did not even know that about that. That's great.
A worm, if a bird is trying to get it, it tries to feel its movement when it's trying to jump on it. So it goes the other way out of the hole and tries to escape.
Okay, so is that a special adaptation of a sense that we have too? That's okay.
No, we actually do.
Do you know what that word means? Special adaptation?
No.
So an adaptation would be this. If I broke my leg and somebody gave me a set of crutches, then I'm adapting to my broken leg and I'm using the crutches to help me walk. Did you hear Eliana?
Well,
She said, I'm guessing another bacteria.
you get it because it's bacteria.
Right, exactly. Do you see what? Anybody have other ideas? Yes. A microorganism, beautiful. That's a great word. A microorganism means an organism that's micro or teeny tiny, right? So yes, a bacteria happens to fall in that category of microorganisms. So with this question, how do animals sense in the world? How do plants sense things? Your job today is to use this, and you don't actually have to use this. You have this in your head. You have this idea of what this thing is, right? And let's just imagine this thing needs to be covered in sensory organs. Okay? So nobody mentioned antenna at all.
I did.
Did you mention antenna? Okay, great. But there's a possibility too, right? And if you've ever seen the antenna of a giant moth, those things are some of the coolest, most beautiful things in the world. There are also sensory organs that we didn't talk about too. Sharks have the coolest sensory organs. Hammerhead sharks will swim across the bottom of the ocean with their hammerheads going back and forth, and just inside of their eyes, they have these sensory organs that can sense electricity. So I want you to make a tree today, somehow, and I brought lots of tape for you to do this. Make a tree, And then on your tree, I want you to put your family of paper pets. Work with however you want. If you want to cut this thing all the way down the whole length of it, or cut it into small strips, do it. Do whatever your brain can come up with. Don't be hindered by the structures that you see. I have 4 of these again. Feel free to cut it. Feel free to do whatever you want to it. But I only have 4, and I don't want a massive fight over this, okay? So supplies and safety. Supplies and safety. I don't know what these are. I think they're ornaments, but here are other weird things. No, it's not to play. It's actually to use to make a sensory organ or yeah. Okay, then these are really the last thing I'm going to tell you before we start moving. I found these. Really, Brian? I found these maps, and because family trees do a really good job of looking like a web of sorts, then I thought maybe if you wanted to, you could wrap the maps around the tree, and that would be the trunk of the tree. I want to do it, yeah. So I like it. That's good. Keep coming up with your ideas. Don't use my ideas because my ideas are only mine. There are 20 kids in here that have brilliant ideas to use. So let's use all of your ideas. We want safety.
What's ours?
Okay, so guys, put paint in cups and use them that way. Don't worry about scratches because you're gonna paint right over it. No, keep the paint here. We're here and there. Keep it nice and tippy. I think it's good.
What's our big thing?
Since you guys are the first ones here, what I would do is this, because it would be a good base of a tree. And then brought duct tape, or use duct tape too, to stick it together. Okay? Be careful when you cross it over. Duct tape.
Oh my god, look at that. I don't think we need to put
All I have was over there.
Well, how many white Just go give it to him. What's that? Let's get it here though.
I don't know about sticking the brush down in there. So over here, all you really need is this first one. You just need one on the face, and that will get you started. And then from there, tape it like these guys taped it. Did you also put more on your list?
You said I don't like it. What is fall out? I forgot to have more yellow, that's why. I want my purple.
All right, Josh, I want you to show us the structure that you have in your hand. He'll show us all the details of the structure, and then also I want you to tell us what is the function of that piece that's in your hand.
Okay, so this is part of the circulatory system where the blood flows. This is the direction of the blood flow. We put a little hole here so you can stop the blood flow and it'll go rigid. So then you take it out, the blood will keep flowing.
Okay, so can you show us a sample of what that would do?
This?
And what's in your lap too?
With the
Well,
oxygen.
the blue, this is deoxygenated blood, and the red is oxygenated blood.
Okay.
The white, these are white blood cells which eat the bacteria. And then this,
Our food or cells?
yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay, I'll show you a little thing. This, if you don't stop it, you can't see it that well.
Yeah.
And then if you do stop it, you'll stop, and you'll be able to see the blood just kind of there. Let me put my hand here.
Okay, so let me ask you another question too. Would you ever find blue and red ones together in the same tube?
No, we have something else which we left inside. It's the orange thing with the little hair sticking out.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a lung, which the blue blood cells will go through here. They'll touch that, then we'll change it to red blood cells.
All right. That sounds great. And so what's the lung going to be doing for them?
It's just going to be there, kind of.
Like, it's gonna oxygenate.
Yeah.
It's gonna give it
Oxygen.
oxygen.
Deoxygenated, the lung is going to give it oxygen. And
If someone tapes it and then it'll stop the lung and then the animal that we're gonna make is gonna die.
yeah,
Because it needs oxygen.
needs blood.
All right. Cool. Thanks very much. Look, the difference between reading out of a book or doing it with your hands, how is that for you?
Well, reading a book, you only get to see it, but doing it, you get to feel what it's like, basically.
And which do you prefer?
I prefer to do it.
You prefer to do it?
Yeah.
Okay. And this class, that was sort of my goal, is to try and make it a class that was a project-based class. So tell me, does that work for you really well?
Yes.
Yeah. And what do you like about it?
I like that we actually get to do things hands-on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you don't have to sit there reading a lot.
Okay. And what about the writing component that I put at the beginning and the end?
Well, at the beginning, we guess, and it's a little fun. It's a little bit fun, not too fun, but still pretty fun. And then at the end, we know what happens. So then we already know the answer. We just have to write it down.
And is that helpful to you?
Yes.
Okay.
Pretty helpful.
Let me ask you more of a personal question. You, at the very first week, you said, "No, I'm not an artist. I don't like to do this kind of stuff." Do you see this as art, or do you see this as? What do you see this as?
I just see it as a fun project that we get to do. Because the art that I was talking about, as an artist, is like drawing, not the painting. The painting is really fun.
Yeah.
But then the drawing, I'm pretty bad at it.
Okay.
It's terrible.
Okay, so specifically then, you would want more practice in drawing so you could get better at drawing.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you were drawing the squid suction cups really, really close? And instead of you having to do it by your free hand or something, I gave you a tool that would work
Yeah,
in that sense? Does that take the word art away from you and make it more of a project?
Yeah, it pretty much does.
Yeah. Okay. So it's good. That's what I'm trying to do, is I'm trying to get you to see what your concept of art is or of science is, and we're trying to switch it so that maybe you can see it as something brand new that you've never seen before. Yeah? Does that work for you?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, cool. All right, thanks very much.
Dark pink black color. Hey, look at this. Pour this out. Oh! Look at this color. It's gonna be nice. Dude, get it out. Get it out. Your shirt off. Hey, why? No, I'm Debbie. He's ugly too. Oh, he's ugly too. I don't care.
All right, guys, you have about 15 more minutes. 15 more minutes. Please don't make your current project much better and ready to be displayed for next week. All right? It's just
I'll be back.
Okay, wait. You have to stop painting now. And now you cut it around. So cut around here like this, and then when you open the book, you stick that piece.
So like this. So. Oh my God!
Like that? How about cover it with paper? Cover the card. No, but don't mess with the stuff. Actually, 5 more minutes. So tape half of it on the front and then round it around to the other.
That is really unsafe.
Alright, I'll see you all next week in the very first part of the morning.
She's scared of heights.
We need to vacuum, but I have to tell you, if it's seen it, well, you did see it.
Oh no!
This project-based learning, this whole way of going about learning, is more doing, less reading, not less thinking. It's more thinking. It's actually, how does the process work? How do you get this to go from here to here? The goal of this particular class was to create a way for kids to express what they've learned in science through art. So I went through all the next generation science standards, got the 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade life science standards, and then went through different artists' views like pointillism or 3D mosaics or sort of tearaway silhouettes, and had the kids use the artists' ways to create ways to show the science that they've created.